The one presented in Congress has actually caused a rift even among Democrats. What are you doing in New York City? How does that provide a roadmap for Democrats and independents and some progressive or forward-thinking Republicans nationwide?
We're actually making the Green New Deal come alive here in New York City. So we have our own Green New Deal. It's three very basic ideas. One, the biggest source of emissions in New York City is buildings. We're putting clear, strong mandates, the first of any major city on the earth, to say to building owners, you got to clean up your act, you got to retrofit, you got to save energy. If you don't do it by 2030, there will be serious fines as high as $1 million or more for the biggest buildings. And this mandate is going to guarantee that we reduce emissions. We're going to ban the classic glass and steel skyscrapers, which are incredibly inefficient. If someone wants to build one of those things, they can take a whole lot of steps to make it energy efficient, but we're not going to allow what we used to see in the past. And the city of New York, the government, which uses about as much energy in a year as do the people and the businesses of the state of Vermont, we are going to get all of our energy from renewable sources in the next 5 years.
So these are the big broad strokes for the plan. They could have wide impact. These are civic decisions. But there's also personal things people can do. You talk a lot about some of the things you do in your own life. You recycle. You make, your staff has said you go around City Hall turning off lights and so on. But I also do need to ask, you live on the Upper East Side in Gracie Mansion. Most days, or several days a week, a city SUV drives you 11 miles to a gym in Brooklyn, as opposed to one that's close to where you currently reside. What sort of environmentally responsible example are you setting there, taking this drive in a car as opposed to going someplace nearby?
So the example we're setting, first and foremost, let's look at this exact question before us. The plans we have put forward, we're acting on, will reduce emissions 30% in all of New York City by 2030. That's where we make huge change. To the question you asked, look, wherever I go in New York City, whether I take a subway, whether I go nearby or farther away to another borough, I have a security detail that follows me in their cars either way. So let's be clear, this is just part of my life. I come from that neighborhood in Brooklyn. That's my home. I go there on a regular basis to stay connected to where I come from and not be in the bubble that I think for a lot of politicians is a huge problem. But the fact is that those cars and that security detail are part of the life of being mayor in New York City.
Switching gears, it was a sort of jarring headline for a lot of people in the year 2019 that we had a measles outbreak in New York City, in Brooklyn, not